In the world of modern music, few stars have risen as quickly or as unexpectedly as D4vd, real name David Anthony Burke. His ascent has been nothing short of meteoric, capturing the attention of fans and critics alike. D4vd's story began in the most unlikely of places, a teenager's bedroom, where he spent hours gaming and experimenting with music. His unique blend of indie pop and R&B, paired with raw, honest lyrics, resonated deeply with a generation searching for authenticity. What started as a hobby quickly became a phenomenon, as his tracks went viral and his fan base exploded across continents. The journey from gamer to global sensation seemed like a modern fairy tale, inspiring countless young artists to chase their dreams. But on December 30th, 2025, that fairy tale was shattered in an instant, leaving fans and the industry in shock. Suddenly, D4vd's name was no longer just associated with chart-topping hits, but with a grim investigation and the tragic death of Celeste Rivas, a name that would soon be on everyone's lips. Now, a grand jury in Los Angeles is weighing evidence that could lead to D4vd being formally charged, a process that has gripped the public's attention and left many wondering what really happened. The case involves a 15-year-old girl, a world-famous musician, and a discovery that sent shockwaves through Hollywood and beyond. The city, known for its glitz and glamour, is now the backdrop for a story of heartbreak and controversy. At the heart of it all are questions about fame, responsibility, and the protection of the vulnerable. The spotlight that once celebrated D4vd now exposes every detail to public scrutiny. On one side, a young man's career and reputation hang in the balance. On the other, a family mourns an unimaginable loss, searching for answers and justice in a world that often moves too fast. The legal process is shrouded in secrecy, with closed doors and whispered conversations fueling public concern, speculation, and a hunger for the truth. The details that have emerged so far are disturbing, painting a picture far removed from the glossy image of a pop star's life. The contrast between fame and reality has never been starker. This is not just a headline or a fleeting scandal, it's a story about real people whose lives have been changed forever, and a community grappling with grief and disbelief. In the coming moments, we'll explore who D4vd is, who Celeste was, and what the grand jury's decision could mean for everyone involved. The stakes are high, and the world is watching. The path forward is uncertain, filled with questions and difficult choices. But understanding where we are now, and how we got here, is the first step toward finding answers, and perhaps some measure of healing. Before the investigation, D4vd, David Anthony Burke, was a symbol of new age musical success. He pioneered bedroom pop, recording songs on his iPhone in his sister's closet, and first gained attention through Fortnite montages. His viral hit, Romantic Homicide and follow-up Here With Me, made him a sensation on TikTok and Spotify. D4vd's sound fused indie rock, R&B, and lo-fi, marked by haunting vocals and authenticity. He signed a major record deal, toured the world, and collaborated with artists like Kali Uchis. Brands like Hollister and Crocs sought his trend-setting image. But now, the investigation into Celeste Rivas's death has put his world on pause. The platforms that built his fame are now filled with speculation and debate. The young man who sang about heartbreak is now at the center of a real-life tragedy. Amid the headlines and the constant churn of breaking news, it's easy to lose sight of the real people behind the stories. But it's vital to remember Celeste Rivas Hernandez, a vibrant young girl who was just 15 years old when her life was cut short. The daughter of Salvadoran immigrants, Celeste grew up in Lake Elsinore, California, surrounded by her loving family and the unique challenges of adolescence in a new country. Like many teens, Celeste struggled to find her place. She had a history of running away, which was more than just a rebellious phase. It was a sign of deeper struggles, a search for acceptance, and a longing to be understood. She was last seen by her family in April 2024. Her sudden disappearance left a painful void in the hearts of those who loved her, a silence at the dinner table, and endless questions with no answers. Her funeral in October 2025 became a public moment of grief and remembrance, drawing together a community that mourned not just a lost child, but the loss of hope and potential. Behind the legal proceedings and the headlines is a family shattered by loss, struggling to make sense of tragedy and seeking justice for Celeste, even as they try to heal. Celeste's story is a stark reminder of the vulnerabilities faced by at-risk youth, especially those navigating cultural identity, family expectations, and the pressures of growing up in a world that can be unforgiving. As the legal process unfolds, we must remember Celeste not just as a victim, but as a young girl with dreams, laughter, and a future that was stolen from her far too soon. Justice for Celeste means honoring her life, cherishing her memory, and ensuring that her story inspires change, not just focusing on the way her life ended. At the heart of this tragedy is a family's pain, a reminder that every headline is someone's personal heartbreak, and that Celeste Rivas Hernandez deserves to be remembered for the life she lived. The case against D4vd crystallized on September 8, 2025, with a chilling discovery. Employees at a Hollywood tow yard found Celeste Rivas's body in a bag in the trunk of a black Tesla. The car, abandoned near D4vd's Hollywood Hills mansion, was registered to him. This direct link shifted the investigation's focus to the pop star. Celeste's body was found with a tattoo on her finger. Shh! A tattoo D4vd also has. This detail suggested a connection beyond mere proximity. Law enforcement quickly executed a search warrant on D4vd's mansion, seeking further evidence. The findings remain sealed, but the seriousness of the investigation is clear. The abandoned car, the tattoo, and the location all point to D4vd as a central figure. As 2026 approaches, D4vd's fate rests with a grand jury. Their job decide if there's enough evidence to indict, not to determine guilt or innocence. Prosecutor Beth Silverman is seeking an indictment, which would mean formal charges and a public trial. The process is secret, with witnesses and evidence shielded from public view. This secrecy has fueled speculation, but ensures the integrity of the case. The grand jury may continue into February 2026, so a decision isn't imminent. For D4vd and Celeste's family, this is a period of agonizing suspense. The outcome will determine if the case moves to a high-stakes trial or quietly closes. The weight of this decision is immense. The next chapter hinges on what the grand jury decides. One detail to emerge from the grand jury is the testimony of D4vd's manager, Robert Morgenroth. He was questioned about why he didn't contact police when he became aware of a potential crisis. Morgenroth reportedly said it wasn't his responsibility. His focus was keeping D4vd's tour on track. This response has drawn public criticism and raises ethical questions about the priorities of those around D4vd. Prosecutors may use this to argue there was a cover-up or a disturbing focus on business over human decency. The manager's testimony could be damaging, even if it doesn't directly implicate D4vd. It paints a picture of an inner circle more concerned with reputation than responsibility. For the grand jury, this could strengthen the prosecution's narrative. The fallout for D4vd was immediate and severe. His world tour was cancelled, halting his meteoric rise and leaving fans in shock. Major partners like Sony Music, Hollister, and Crocs quickly distanced themselves. His label suspended all promotion, freezing his new music. Collaborator Kali Uchis removed their track from streaming services. D4vd has remained silent, with only a brief statement from his representatives. This silence, likely a legal strategy, has fueled speculation. His once bright career is now in limbo, its future tied to the legal outcome. The industry's message is clear. Until there's clarity, D4vd's business is closed. The Celeste Rivas case is marked by extraordinary secrecy. A court-ordered security hold has sealed all records, including the autopsy and search warrants. The official cause of death remains undisclosed, fueling speculation about what really happened. The LAPD has named D4vd only as a person of interest, despite the evidence. Details from the search of his home remain secret. This controlled flow of information protects the case but leaves the public in the dark. The story is being built behind closed doors, with everyone waiting for answers. The full truth remains hidden, for now. As 2025 draws to a close, the case of D4vd and Celeste Rivas remains shrouded in uncertainty, haunted by disturbing questions that refuse to fade. The world watches, waiting for answers that never seem to come, as the story grows more complex with each passing day. A 15-year-old girl is gone, her life cut short in a way that has shocked a global audience. Her body was discovered in a car registered to one of the world's most recognizable pop stars, a detail that has only deepened the mystery and fueled endless speculation. D4vd, once celebrated for his meteoric rise, is now the focus of a secret grand jury investigation. His career, once filled with promise, lies in ruins as the media and public dissect every detail of his life, searching for clues and motives. The most basic question, what truly happened to Celeste, remains unanswered. The official cause of death is still sealed, leaving the public and those closest to her in a painful limbo, desperate for closure but denied the truth. The tattoo she shared with D4vd hints at a deeper connection between them, but its true meaning remains a mystery. Was it a symbol of friendship, love, or something more complicated? No one outside their circle seems to know for sure. What did D4vd's inner circle know about Celeste's final days? Did they try to help, or did they turn a blind eye to warning signs? The silence from those closest to the case only adds to the sense of unease. The grand jury's decision will determine whether the case moves to a public trial, exposing all the evidence, or quietly fades away, leaving questions forever unanswered. If indicted, D4vd will face a trial that could finally bring the truth to light, forcing secrets into the open, and giving Celeste's family a chance at justice. If not, the shadow of suspicion may never fully lift, and the doubts and rumors will linger, casting a long shadow over everyone involved. For now, all anyone can do is wait for the legal system to act, for the truth to emerge, and for some measure of resolution to this heartbreaking story. The story of D4vd's rise to fame is now forever intertwined with Celeste's tragic end, a cautionary tale that has captivated and unsettled millions. The final chapter of this story remains unwritten, but one thing is certain. It will be defined by the relentless pursuit of truth and justice for Celeste, and by the hope that someday, the full story will finally be told.